Welcome to another edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
And I'm Timothy. What's good?
And we are returning with episode 28.
28.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've been in studio laying one of these down.
Welcome back to both of us.
Yes, absolutely. But so much in the world has happened since the last time we were together. Right?
Definitely.
There's a few notable things I don't want to spend too much time on, but I do feel like we should mention them. And if there's anything you want to address about these, bro, by all means.
Okay.
But first, I think we should mention, since the last time we were together, Brian Laundrie's remains were found, and dental records confirmed that it was him.
Okay, it was definitely him.
He was found in Florida, the state
Jesus.
of Florida. Did you follow that story?
I did, especially after that episode. I definitely did. I became real smart about it.
You think it's weird? His parents were the ones that went out and searched and then supposedly found like this stuff. So you think that's a little weird?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Especially after what we were talking about. We were mentioning that we thought that they were definitely hiding something. They knew something. And they went to exactly the place when, as soon as the FBI started hitting them up, let's go out together, maybe right over here in this vicinity.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, you guys know for sure.
Yeah, definitely weird. But the dental records did confirm, that it was him. So I guess there is, at least we know that he is no longer on the run.
Right.
That he is dead. But
Jesus.
So, second, I want to talk about real quickly, the fatal shooting that took place on the movie set of Rust, which involved Alec Baldwin. It happened on October 21st, 2021 in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The person who died was cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I heard
about
it. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. It reminds everybody of Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, when he got killed doing The Crow.
Yes.
So, yeah, a lot of comparisons.
Yeah, excellent movie.
Mm-hmm. Great movie.
Yeah.
Dark movie.
But I feel, bad for Alec Baldwin. His life changed. It's such a sad, what I'm saying, incident, but also weird too, because I guess there was reports of negligence or whatnot on the movie set.
Gross negligence. They were shooting with the gun prior to the entire thing, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's something else.
There's a big process too when filming movies, when dealing with fake guns. Like, are you familiar with what happens when, with prop guns and shit? Like, people, it goes through different stages of what's the word I'm looking for? Like of a look over. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So the person might, like the actors and whatnot, especially, get the gun, look at it, inspect it, make sure there's nothing in the chamber. Usually.
Do they go through numbers of people? Like 2-3 people that all check at the gun and everything like that?
Usually. That's how it should. And then what happens usually is somebody will carry the prop gun over and say, that it's a cold gun, meaning, it's clean or it's good, and then they can use it. But in this incident, there was a bullet in the gun.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is crazy. I don't know.
I guess I have a question then. How did they not check the gun prior to the next day?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of questions still in regards to that whole entire incident. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm not too familiar with. I didn't look into too much of the story. I just thought that was a wild incident.
It's ridiculous. It's wild.
Yeah, very unfortunate. And like I said, Alec Baldwin, I'm sure absolute complete mistake. Of course. But his future could be. Work related. Who gonna want to work with him?
Right, it's crazy, and it's actually ironic too, because he typically portrays like an asshole character, and I don't think some people know how to differentiate him as the person versus him as an actor and his different characters. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting what he'll do. I've always felt that he'll just like stop acting and just be done.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But third incident I just want to touch on real quick is the I don't know if you've heard or kept track of the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse.
I have on and off.
And his pathetic tear show performance he put on
Jesus.
while on the stand. I don't know if you've seen his pictures right now are all over the internet. There are memes of like, I don't know if you've seen them, but there's a million memes created of this kid.
Damn.
And it's just a kid that is got like a sour puss on his face and whatnot. Looks like he's crying, but he was. But that whole scenario is going on right now as well. Anything else that you want to talk about or touch on that's happened or you think something worth notable about since
not
last
much.
time?
No, not much at all. You hit the Rittenhouse one. That guy is something else, man. So what happened with him at the end?
I don't know. The trial's
Is it still going?
Yeah, the trial's still going on.
Okay.
But I mean, if people don't remember, he was the kid that showed up to a protest with an AK-47
Right.
and had ties and whatnot, supposed ties or whatnot with like a white supremacist.
Right.
And
he
stuff, so.
He killed 2 people and injured 1.
Correct.
Right.
So.
And it's sounding like he's getting off scot-free.
I don't know. I think like I said, his performance on stand with him, he's sitting there
bawling his eyes out.
Right? Yeah, it's not. Most people could see right through that shit, and that's why everyone has just made this kid a clown.
I don't know if the judge can though. The judge needs to see it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens with that. But lastly, the focal point of today's episode, the passing of James Michael Tyler, aka Gunther. That also
it's crazy.
has happened. And that's what I want to talk about today.
Okay.
And to help us talk more about him and what is referred to as possibly one of the greatest TV sitcoms ever created, making her return to It's All Relative, bringing that Friends knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Dedrick.
Welcome back.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Chilling, doing well.
Thank you for coming back on It's All Relative.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. How have you been since the last time we've seen you?
Pretty good. It's kind of sad news to hear about Gunther, but
yes,
the cast was pretty responsive in that, so it was kind of nice to see that they all reached out and said their piece with it.
Before we get into that, can you give us an update on the status of Wynonna Earp?
So as of right now, we're still fighting every day.
Okay.
Hashtagging with tweets and things like that. I know that a couple members of the cast, both Melanie Scarfano, who plays Wynonna, and also Tim as well, who plays Doc Holliday, he and Mel have been going around to different Comic-Cons and conventions. So a lot of the fans have gotten to hang out with them recently. But as far as it getting renewed, we don't know yet.
No word yet. Huh?
No word yet.
Okay. Keep fighting.
You'll get there.
Keep pushing.
I mean, other shows have been revived 10 years later, so you never know. I hope it doesn't take that long, but
Me either. People get old. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, quick side note too. I feel like every TV show or every old TV show is getting made. You guys have seen that? Were you guys into Dexter at all?
Yeah,
I wasn't
into
into Dexter. No.
They're making a remake.
That's terrible.
It is terrible.
That's awful. That's awful.
That was just my quick sidebar. But.
Yeah. No, they need to stop remaking everything except for Wynonna Earp. Just keep that one going.
So.
For real, it's good.
All right, let's talk about James Michael Tyler, one of the greatest, and one of the greatest TV sitcoms ever written. Shannon, when do you remember becoming a fan of the show Friends?
Probably sometime early in high school.
Okay.
So around like 2002, 2003. So it was a little bit late for me, but I was a bit too young to be, watching it before that. My brother had a couple seasons on DVD, and I started watching it. And I just became obsessed and watched those same 3 seasons over and over and over.
Nice.
And then when the show came on for its last couple seasons is when I caught the tail end of the show because it ended in 2004. So.
Do you remember the first episode you ever saw, or if not episode, first season?
Season 1, episode 1.
Beautiful.
I'm the type of person to start things from the beginning.
Okay.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Yes. Tim, you familiar with the show?
I'm familiar, but I am not a fan, and I've never watched it hardcore.
Okay.
I've seen it on TV.
Okay. Are you familiar with any of the characters?
I know Chandler.
Chandler. Okay. So if I asked you, then do you have a favorite character? Chandler.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
For the lack of anything else.
Okay. All right. What about you, Shannon? You got a favorite character or characters?
I would say that I can't pick one, but I can pick two that are my favorite, which would be Chandler and Phoebe for sure.
Chandler and Phoebe. I'm sorry.
My bad. I guess I know Phoebe now because she has like a crazy evil twin, doesn't she?
She does.
She does.
Good
Ursula.
job, bro.
Yeah, it's one of the episodes that I see.
Oh, good job. Yeah, usually when that question is asked, people have trouble. They can't give you just one because it's always usually one of the guys and then one of the girls. Everyone has like their favorite characters and whatnot of like that. But in your opinion, Shannon, what made this show become such a hit?
I think it's sort of like a sense of feeling like comfortable, and just having like, you know, a really close-knit group of friends that, you know, you could just tell anything to, and you know, you get your routine and you don't necessarily need a larger circle, and just the family aspect of it. You know, I mean, and the comedy is just is so well written. You know, if they were just on a stage and there was no, you know, audience that you're hearing laughing in the background, you know, I'm sure you'd hear the directors laughing because,
no canned laughter.
You know, there's not another group of people that can come together like that and just make people laugh nonstop. You know, I mean, they really took a hold of those characters.
Yeah, I agree. You guys know, cool sidebar though, the first episode ever, which was episode 1, season 1.
Okay.
It debuted on September 22nd, 1994, which was my birthday, September 22nd. Although 85, but
right. So it's still very interesting though.
Right? That's why I say it was meant to be.
It holds an extra special place.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Although when the show did first debut, I was still a little too young to watch it right when it first started.
All right.
But
so you caught the first part and I caught the second part, the second half, and you caught the first half.
Yeah, I remember, I think for me, because I was such a huge fan when I started watching, I think it was around
96, 97?
No, a little late. I was going to say maybe 98 or 99.
Okay.
It was around the time, and then it really popped off like in the 2000s and stuff.
Right.
When I was in high school, because that was like the main thing that I used to watch.
Yeah, same for me too.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Did you guys used to watch it and then like go to school and discuss it, like in high school?
Maybe the finale for me, or like maybe so much like the last season, because I don't think a lot of kids my age were probably watching that. You know, because when I first started watching, I was like, you know, like 13, 14.
Right.
And, you know, some of the stuff in that show is a little bit crude for...
It's true.
You know, but the things that are on TV now is like...
Yeah, totally different.
Way worse, you know, but back then, you know...
Yeah, for me it was a little different because I was such a fan in high school. And I actually remember, too, the majority of the people that used to watch it when I was into it, they were all chicks.
I was just going to say, you're one of the only guys I know that likes the show.
Okay, so there weren't many dudes that liked the show. And I remember so many times, man, I'd be at like basketball practice and whatnot, people would be like, yo, you watching that Friends shit, whatever. And
actually, yes, I am.
Like, yeah, bro, it's hilarious. And you don't know.
And I'm picking up all the chicks, too.
And I guarantee you, I can't tell you how many people slowly started to like watch an episode, watch another one, and then slowly, like throughout our 4 years of high school, by the end, everyone was a fan of that show.
Oh, okay.
You know? So, but yeah, I love that show. I'm a huge fan. I wanna familiarize everyone with the setting though, because like I said, Tim, are you familiar with the general theme of the show or what the show was?
So I kind of pulled a couple of things from the episodes that I watched way back. They have like a couple of scenes. Like one is at somebody's apartment, right? And then there's like another scene at a bar, if I recall correctly. And it usually shuffles between the two. And there's like a lot of interactions with people coming and going. So kind of similar to Seinfeld, which I know a lot more about.
Right. Okay, so yeah, there were 6 friends.
6 friends. Oh, okay.
Three males, 3 females.
Got it.
Which is cool because I feel like around this time too, especially for, I mean, more so I guess for people our age and whatnot, when the show first started, these were 6 young adults living in New York City, you know, trying to make their way in life and being in the big city. And around that time, I felt like that vibe was very strong, that people related to that, or that was something that a lot of people chased. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but
Side note on that, do you know what the original name for the show was?
oh my God, I just saw this too, and I can't remember right
Oh
now.
no, you caught him already.
I got you already on some trivia.
Actually.
6 of 1.
Well, she came ready.
6 of 1.
6 of 1.
That was going to be the name of the show. 6 of 1.
Interesting. Why did they?
I like Friends better.
I like Friends better too.
Way better.
Yep.
Do you know why they called it 6 of 1?
Because I think they're like all one big family.
Right.
You know, 6 people in one big family. I know that there was a few years ago they had an auction and all the cast had signed the original script that said 6 of 1 on it.
Oh, interesting.
That's awesome.
That's
which is
pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know how much it went for, but
That's dope. I have a friend's Seen It game that
oh yeah.
me and friends and my wife and whatnot, we play often. I whoop everybody's ass in
Yeah, we just wait.
there.
Oh no,
I'm
she's taking it
down.
serious.
I'm down.
Yep.
But so yeah, 6 friends, like Shannon had mentioned, they basically, I mean, like young adults, they grow up together. They become a family. I mean,
Right.
2 characters are legit family,
Right.
brother and sister. But and finding their way in New York City, they all have one common safe haven, or quote unquote home away from home, and that is the coffee shop called Central Perk.
Coffee shop. Got it.
Where the 7th star of the show worked, and that was Gunther, played by James Michael Tyler.
Okay, rest in peace to him.
Yes. Before we put the attention on Gunther, I did just want to say a few things about Central Perk. Tim, I'm pretty sure. Actually, you did mention a little about one thing, so we will. We'll touch on that. But Shannon, let me know if you know any of these or if you've heard about them. But Central Perk originally was supposed to be a diner, not a coffee shop when the show first started. So coffee shops weren't big yet around in the early 90s.
The early 90s, very true.
I remember, I think they had said like Starbucks was just starting its venture, hadn't grown to what it is now today. So, and
Yeah, because they're from like 87.
Yeah, and diners were the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Next, the exact location of the shop is never revealed throughout the entire show.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Which, I mean, people try to figure it out, and there are some clues. Like I've written down, apartments are set in Greenwich Village neighborhood of Manhattan. Okay, but we were never told the exact location. So
I know where it is. I've been there.
So,
Wait, it actually exists?
Yes, Grove and Bedford, the corner of Grove and Bedford in the East Village.
All right, she really came with it.
And you can see the whole corner of the shot that they film in the beginning of every episode. And if you go down a block, you can see the Lucille Lortel Theater where Joey did all of his plays in the first couple of seasons.
That's
Okay,
dope.
shit.
But in the show, in the show, they never reveal that, or you never get an exact idea of where it is. Like using clues from the show, though, we do know that it's exactly 97 steps from Joey and Chandler's apartment.
97 steps.
97 steps, because they do have an episode in season 1, episode 4, where Joey counts the steps, literally from his.
Because and then he found a shoe.
He was looking for his shoe. All right, I'm gonna have to watch some more of this.
Yeah.
Gunther pulls out the shoe and puts it on the counter. He's like, my shoe.
Shout outs to Gunther.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see what else. Central Perk used to be a bar,
Okay.
which I think you had mentioned, Tim. And
right.
Yeah, we found that out in episode 6 in season 3, the one with the flashback. I think, and this is my favorite, I guess, example of how they used Central Perk was in the finale.
Okay.
In 2004, when Friends ended, And how they ended it, I thought was pretty cool. They had the whole crew going for one last coffee at Central Perk before they all went their separate ways.
But did they really go their separate ways, though?
Well, I mean, it was portrayed at the end.
Interesting.
Chandler and Monica were moving out of the city.
Okay.
Looked like Rachel and Ross were about to get back together and
start their own journey,
start their own family together.
Okay.
And then which kind of left Joey and Phoebe on the outskirts, but
yeah, but Phoebe
they were
had
the
just
single
gotten married.
ones. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Phoebe just got married.
So Phoebe had gotten married to Mike.
Okay.
Right, and then they were going to start their life, which kind of then left Joey.
Which he got a spin-off series, so then that just kind of worked out, and I think that's why they set it up that way.
You watched that show, Joey?
I watched a couple episodes. I wasn't really into it.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. It was sad.
Matt LeBlanc.
Did anybody from Friends show up in Joey?
I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't watch enough of it, honestly.
Wow. Okay.
It was that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally watched the first episode, and I remember thinking, like, yeah, this is shit.
This is gonna bomb. Yeah.
Ooh.
It was sad though, because right in the beginning, I remembered they showed him Matt LeBlanc, who played Joey. They show him like in an airplane or airport. Or he just gets off of an airplane and he's talking to the taxi cab driver, and he's talking about how he just moved out to Cali from New York, and all his friends kind of left and whatnot, and now he's out trying to, I believe, pursue like acting or whatnot.
God bless him.
It was just kind of sad, like just him without the normal crew.
Right. Did he have like any comedy or anything to go off of? Did it have like Joey-isms?
Yeah, of course it did.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, he was an actor in the show.
Okay.
Like a failed actor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. God bless him.
So.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, we've mentioned the seventh star of the show, and that was James Michael Tyler, or Gunther. But on October 24th, 2021, he died after battling prostate cancer, and he was 59 years old. He played the role of Gunther between the years of 1994 to 2004, and his character worked at the coffee shop and was in love with Rachel Green, who was Jennifer Aniston's character.
Okay.
There were total of 236 episodes of Friends. Gunther had appearances in 148 of them.
Damn.
So let's see. Oh, I got a cool little sidebar, whatnot about Gunther. So, do you know what Gunther looked like or who he is? All right, he had bleach blonde hair, like his hair was like.
I know this too. I already know what you're gonna say.
So okay, you wanna take it? You wanna?
You're gonna say that once a week, every week for the entirety of the entire show, he got his hair dyed blonde.
I was. How crazy is that?
All right, I know how he looks now.
That's dedication.
That is dedication. So, like, yeah, in the beginning when he was first supposed to come on, I guess his stylist or whatever you would call it, he he wanted to just play around and test. So he bleached his hair. But the directors and whatnot of the show thought it looked so good and it was so fitting for his character that they ended up liking it. And they wanted him to keep it.
Right. So after looking, I got a question that's on top of that then. I just looked at him so I understand how he looks. He seems to be wearing a lot of loud, colorful stuff. So is that part of his character? Was he like a really loud and colorful character?
No, I think that just adds to his character because he wasn't.
Oh, he wasn't? Interesting.
The way they used him, that's why I call him the seventh star, because he really was, like, he wasn't one of the main A actors. He was like the B one, but he had such quick, small little roles or something, but they were always so fitting because they were right at the perfect time.
So they put him in for perfect timing of everything?
It was like a good dynamic.
Okay.
Like, just to kind of like add a little bit extra to that scene,
Okay. So you were saying basically he's opposite of being loud and colorful. Was he like dark and brooding, or was he like just mellow and chill?
Well, okay, so his character basically is a guy that is in love with Rachel Green.
Got it.
And obviously throughout the entire series of the show, Rachel's always with somebody, dating somebody. So, and in all reality, them two would never link up anyway. But he always he
was
always
pining for her.
So
Right.
that's his kind of direction and character of someone who's in love with this one chick. And
Okay.
And he just never gets around to sort of tell her
Yeah,
how he
he-
really feels, you
Right.
know? So he's like, hey, Rachel, or he's like very like timid,
Right. Is he always hanging over the bar counter waiting for her to come in?
basically.
Jesus. Oh, it's Rachel.
But not
okay.
not in a creepy way though. It was like in like a cute puppy love, but like I'm so scared because you're so beautiful kind of way, you know?
Sometimes
very
you just gotta go
intimidated.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was well put. James Michael Tyler in real life was an actual barista.
Oh, so he
So
was a
he wa-
barista, so he had the
So,
experience.
yeah, it helped him. That's what helped him land the role as Gunther, or it definitely played a part, because it made it look more natural. He knew what he was doing
Right.
behind the counter and whatnot.
So
I
was
did
he
not know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
was he an actor or did he start as an actor, or was he a barista that they just like, oh yeah, you look good, man, come in and
Well, I know
do this thing?
he did dabble in acting and whatnot, plays and shows and
Okay.
whatnot. But he had his main job and whatnot was working at a coffee spot.
Okay.
Even when he started working, I believe in the first season of Friends, he still kept he would do what he has to do on the show, but he still kept his normal coffee job.
Damn, barista 24. Yeah.
So when the show first started, or in the beginning phases, I wouldn't say the first season. I would say more along the lines once we got to about season 3 or 4, maybe, when the show started to get a lot more popular. I thought it was really cool. In London, James Michael Tyler was a huge star. Like, people, for some reason, in London. So in London, people were huge fans of the show, but like here in America, everybody loved like one of the Friends characters.
Right. Everybody had a particular person.
Right.
Right.
But for some reason, Gunther was like the star out there, which I always thought was a cool fact, that he got his recognition.
Do you think it's because of his mannerisms that touch differently, like internationally, I guess?
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I think it was just his character.
Okay.
Just being
people-
underdog too. Like sometimes people like underdog characters, that are like
Absolutely.
kind of secondary, but like you can relate to them more on a level that
Right.
you can't relate to necessarily. Because there's characters that are in shows sometimes when you're just like, okay, well, most of this seems like it would happen in real life, but then you're like,
Okay.
I can't relate to that, But the awkwardness of Gunther's character, I think everybody could relate to at one
Okay.
point in their life or another.
So I'll rephrase it then. Do you think a lot of people that had a lot of popularity for him, were they wanting him to finally ask Rachel?
Oh, that was always the
Probably.
thing. That was always the thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Besides Ross and Rachel, but that's a whole nother
Actually.
animal.
Wait, so were there fan clubs where it was like Gunther and Rachel and Ross and Rachel and they were going at it?
I mean, I don't know about
Like,
all
I
that.
hope Ross
but
gets hit
I'm
by a
sure there
car
was
type
someone
stuff.
somewhere that had a fan club.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, Rachel had quite a few people. There was a time when she was her and Joey linked up. So
Yeah.
like,
Damn.
but I mean, it was always gonna be Ross and Rachel anyway.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I didn't mention though too, but Ross was my favorite character.
Okay.
I thought he was hilarious. He's
He's
such
annoying
a
as hell.
whiny character.
So annoying.
But he's so funny. And like as the seasons progressed, man, he killed it towards the end. He was hilarious.
Yo, side note, the only person in the cast that has not won an Emmy, do you know who it was?
Jennifer Aniston?
No.
I'm just
no,
asking.
no. I don't know.
It's Courtney Cox.
Really?
Oh. Wow,
Her
that
character
sucks.
of Monica. And that always killed me because I'm like, she was so eccentric. Or not eccentric, but like just so OCD about so many different things. And it just, I
That's what
thought,
made her hilarious. That's why I almost think that. I think Mama Monica was probably one of my favorite female
Okay.
yeah.
actors or actresses. Excuse me.
So I have a question for both of you then, going back to Gunther. You mentioned earlier on that it was a lot, the premise is about them growing together. Did Gunther on the side get any character progression where he started here and then he ended up like a better person? Or was
so.
Was he just more or less the same throughout the entire thing?
Pretty much the same, I think.
Okay.
He had more. He was given. There were times where he had more scenes or more dialogue and stuff, which makes I got examples of that, which are hilarious. But actually, do you guys know how many episodes they were into until Gunther actually had some dialogue?
Couple hundred? Or I mean, you said there's only a couple, so like maybe 50, 60?
No.
Huh.
It took 33 episodes.
So 33 in.
Before that's
a long time. It's like a season and a half.
Yeah, his first words when he finally got some dialogue, his only line was "yeah."
Oh,
that was it.
Okay.
So it started off small. Like I said in the beginning, he had many appearances where he would do things, but he never spoke.
But you also have to think that at the very beginning of the show, Rachel's first job was at the coffee shop. So she was the person behind the counter most of the time. He was just in the background doing whatever until she got her first or second real job, in which I think is probably when he started speaking, I would imagine. It would be in like season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was doing those acting roles then without speaking, did they show him prominently or was he just in the background?
Yeah, more or less, I guess, the background.
I would say the background.
You picture like us having a conversation and Shannon coming over and pouring us coffee.
Right.
That's basically how it was, or here you go, kind of thing.
Right, and then walk off. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break. But before we do, I want to remind everyone to please find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google. And by using the platform of your choice, please subscribe, follow, share, leave a 5-star rating,
please.
And a quick review on the Apple page.
Bless it.
Yeah, and with that being said, we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back to It's All Relative. Still with us in studio, Shannon Dedrick. Now, I want to get into some of our favorite moments or episodes involving Gunther, but before we do, Shannon, is there anything that stood out to you about Gunther that made you, like or dislike him?
Well, I definitely liked him. I would say I definitely liked his quirkiness. And, his timidness was something that I feel like a lot of people could probably relate to, or at least know someone who's like that. So you kind of feel for him as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You guys know, before we continue, I just wanted to say something. Since we started this whole podcast show and whatnot, our title that we have, when I was trying to think of the title of It's All Relative.
It's All Relative, right.
I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
really?
nobody's
it's a secret to me.
Yeah, nobody's ever really asked us specifically or head on, why or what made you come up with this title. So I've waited for someone to ask, but no one has. But this is a perfect time to talk about it. Because,
yeah, for sure.
It's weird. When I was trying to think of it, I actually got this title from an episode of Friends.
Okay.
And
shout outs to Friends.
Yeah, and every time I thought about it, though, it was literally I picture and hear Ross saying it, because Ross is actually the one that says it.
Okay. Does he say it in jest? How does he?
It's all relative.
He says it's all relative. But I always picture that, so that was why. Yeah, and that episode is pretty cool.
That's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, Joey and Chandler are trying to play a game against Rachel and Monica.
Okay.
Saying that they know more about them than the other person.
Right.
So loser
wins
the apartment.
And so they were betting their apartments. So
okay. They lost their apartment.
Ross came up with questions to ask
on an easel with different categories.
Wow.
And one of the categories was it's all relative.
Okay.
So, but that was a quick little sidebar for everybody. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But all right, Tim, Shannon, let's talk about some of your guys' favorite or best Gunther moments, if you have any.
I have zero.
More so for Shannon.
More so for Shannon.
But
what's your favorite, Shannon?
Oh man. I want to say that the one that stands out to me the most is when Rachel purchases the cat. It's like this hairless Sphinx cat, like one that like her grandmother had, and it turns out to be like this really evil cat that scratches her all over the place, and she's trying to sell the cat out in front of Central Park, and
oh god,
she can't get rid of the cat because she paid like $1,000 for the cat,
right?
And of course Gunther was like, yeah, I'll take the cat.
Oh, okay.
So he comes over to Monica and Chandler's apartment to pick up like some of the toys for the cat. And then he whispers to one of the characters, I can't remember who. He's like, is this like a snake or something? Like, what is this thing? Like, and he's just so obsessed with Rachel that he was just going to pay whatever price she was asking because he gets to own something that she touched.
Oh, so he's like that. He has to obsess over every little thing about her.
Sort of, but it's not in a creepy way.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I never got that vibe anyway.
Right. The crazy thing about Gunther is that every time that he was on screen, it was always short or quick. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, even though he wasn't one of the main stars, his lines and delivery were always like at the right time. Okay. So it was always perfect for whatever the setting of the show was. That's why it made it so perfect. Like even when Shannon had mentioned, like, you know, he's there holding this cat thing. He's wearing what do you call those?
Oven mitts.
Oven mitts.
I'm trying to hold this cat. And it's goodness. Hilarious.
That's
how he says it. Like, you know,
hairless cat, rather.
What is this thing?
Because it scratches, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, just his little things that he does, it makes him hilarious.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
You can you think of any others that you like?
I mean, there's like a couple like quirky moments where he like whispers like "I love you" or something like that to Rachel, and she can't hear him or anything, or you know, it's just like stuff like that. I mean, obviously there's a Rachel line at the end, which I'm sure you'll mention later. That was really powerful, but yeah, I just kind of like the little one-offs.
Yeah, some of those were like we had said. Some of those are the funniest times. I got one written down. I know you'll know what I'm talking about, but it was the worst best man, the bachelor party.
I forgot about that actually.
Okay.
Yep.
So what is it? Ross is about to get married. Okay. I'm trying to set the setting for you, Tim.
Please.
Ross is about to get married. He is got to decide who his best man's going to be, Chandler or Joey. You know, like they're all close. So
right.
He ends up picking Joey because technically Chandler was his
best man at his first wedding.
Right. Okay.
In the basement of a Pizza Hut.
Oh, geez. Okay. Basement of the Pizza Hut.
For the bachelor party.
Shout outs to Pizza Hut.
Yeah. But during this episode, like, so they have a bunch of guys over and whatnot, and they're all playing poker, and Gunther's there. You know what I'm saying? And the whole episode, really, Chandler is kind of obsessing that or making a point that he's not the best man.
Okay.
You know, and he stands up, like they're all playing poker and whatnot, and he stands up and he's like, he claims Gunther will be his future best man, right? Gunther then says, "What's my last name?" And Chandler goes, "Central Perk." Like,
all right, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, like little hilarious little lines like that, you know, that are that made him so special to the show.
Hold on, so I got a question for you then.
Yeah.
Did he have any resentment for the people that dated Rachel?
Of course he did.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like,
he was so jealous.
He was so jealous. Like, I'm gonna burn this guy's car down.
Oh my gosh, there was a scene, I forget in which episode it was, but he like went into the back and started breaking plates.
Oh wow. Okay.
And just like throwing stuff all over the place.
You sure he's not crazy?
Nah.
Yeah, I think someone was Gunther was about to go tell Rachel that how he felt or that he loved her or whatnot.
Yeah.
And somebody ended up, I don't know, dating or
asking her out or something.
Right,
And
so
then
he-
he just went into the back and just broke a bunch of plates. It was great.
Wow.
That was a funny time.
So you really feel for him too. Does he ever get the chance? Does he get like a kiss on the cheek or a hug from Rachel?
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I already know that it's on the list here.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yeah,
Good for him.
I gotta let's talk about episode 13, season 3. Once again, Shannon, I know you're gonna know as soon as we start talking about this, but so Phoebe is dating this guy who freeballs it, basically. Okay.
Oh man.
But like she doesn't really know like what to do. Like the guys end up seeing and then making jokes and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So she tries to buy him, like some underoos and shit.
Right.
And like
get some underwear.
Yeah,
he's like, I feel like I'm on display.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't.
Okay.
So he's not into it, right?
And she's thinking like, you already are, but all right.
So like at the end, Phoebe's trying to figure out like how to tell him, this is an issue, right?
Right. This is a problem. Stop
I'm like
freeballing.
pre-laughing because I already know what you're gonna say.
So they're at Central Perk, all right, and Phoebe and this guy are talking, and he's relaxed and exposed, right? So out of nowhere, right, Gunther pops up. He like picks his head up and he sees and he says, "Hey buddy, this is a family place. Put the mouse back in the house." Hilarious, right? It was such a funny moment.
You have to like see it in real life to really understand Tim, but like
I got the gist of it.
Yeah, you got to watch the show.
Yeah. Well, every time you said that he was timid, so I'm sticking it to my mind that he's very timid, but to be able to say something like that.
Timid with Rachel.
With Rachel. Okay. So asshole otherwise.
He's not an asshole though.
Okay.
Like he just tells you how
moment.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the moment. Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you need somebody like that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but that whole setting was hilarious. I mean, like, they're having this conversation, and I don't know, he was either bending over to wipe something up, or
he was wiping something up and picking up a coffee cup, and then he just looks up and was like, "Oh,"
and then says that line, and it's
because the whole episode is like the boys trying to find a way to tell him that that's what he's doing. So then Phoebe buys him like these spandex shorts. Because no one has the courage to really tell him like, "Hey, you're hanging out here."
Right, put it away.
But Gunther just comes up and was like, "Bro, family place, put it away."
We need you to put it away.
Yeah.
You have to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other top. There are so many. Like I said, he had, I believe it was 148 episodes or appearances that he was in. So.
Okay.
There are so many to choose from. But we can talk real quick about the one where Joey tells Ross that he actually loves Rachel.
Okay.
Right? Mm. And it's funny. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be funny now, but like you got to kind of picture they're in Central Perk again. All right. Joey and Ross are talking, and Joey's kind of trying to be serious and telling Ross where Rachel and Ross have been on and off and together like since the beginning.
Okay.
Or not since the beginning, but Ross has always liked Rachel.
Since high school.
Since high school.
Is there always something like breaking them up, like misunderstandings or silliness?
He was a nerd in the beginning, and she was like a popular chick. So like,
she was like cheerleader, and he was like super nerd.
Super nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
So it took a while, but then they finally got together, and then
stuff happened.
They ended up taking a break,
not being together, and then.
And so during this time, though, Joey ends up falling in love with Rachel.
Okay.
Right. When she's pregnant with Ross's kid.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing.
Yes. So
interesting.
The hilarious part, though, this whole thing, because Ross, when Joey tells Ross this, Ross responds, he's like, Rachel? And then he keeps saying that, like, over and over again, because it would be weird, right, to have, like, your best friend tell you that he loves your ex who's carrying
Your
your future baby.
Right.
Right. But in a tense like little moment like that, like as Ross is saying that, it's hilarious because Joey like is about to walk away, and then all of a sudden you see Gunther pop up like right in front of Joey's face, and he's like, Rachel, you know, because Gunther loves Rachel.
Right. So now he had to come in on it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So they're just, like I said, little small little lines and whatnot that just made him so funny and so prevalent to the show.
I guess I have a question since I can't really add anything extra. Was there ever a point in time where Gunther came to the rescue for any of the characters? Where something happened and he just showed up at the right time to rescue somebody out of a situation?
Only Rachel with the cat is the only thing I can
With the
think
cat?
of.
Okay.
Like bailing her out of having that cat or getting that cat because like she was $1,000 in and thought it was going to be like her grandma's cat, and then it was attacking her.
Right.
And he took that off her hands. But can you think of anything?
No, I am trying to think, but I can't recall any. Yeah, and I don't really foresee him, like you had mentioned, I don't really foresee him going out of his way to help anybody else besides Rachel.
Jesus.
Because he loved her, you know.
Right. He didn't like the other characters? Did he like anybody else? Sounds like he probably hated Ross.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's talk real quick then about another event or episode with Gunther. It's the last episode. Okay, so last episode of the show, emotions are super high. I mean, you'd have to watch, but I mean, obviously you could picture being a season finale of everything. So emotions are real high. Ross is about to confront Rachel and finally, you know, I mean, tell her, I guess, that he's still in love with her. She's about to leave, actually. She got a job in Paris. So she's about to leave everybody from New York, and, you know, Ross wants her to stay. So he's about to tell her all this stuff, right? And Gunther, at the time, slips right in front of Ross before, like, he can say anything, and tells Rachel that he loves her.
Whoa, okay. Swag.
It's just that more along the lines is just like the timing was hilarious,
right?
You know, because it brightened the moment, like when emotions were super high, because you were like, "Yo, is he gonna tell? Is he gonna tell her?" You know,
right. And then Gunther,
we've been waiting for that.
Like, you wait
since the beginning. We've been waiting for Gunther to finally confess his love. You know?
That makes sense. How did she handle it?
It's hilarious because she's just like, "Oh, I think she was like, oh, Gunther, I love you too." But not in that way.
Not in that way.
Oh, no.
But if I ever see anyone with hair as bright as the sun, I'll always think of you.
Ah, good quote. Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that was the gift that was going around in like the little snippet when he passed away. And that really broke my heart because it's like the very, very end, you know, and it's like you're sad because the show's over, and now you're sad because, you know, that sweet little, you know, tender moment between the two of them. And you know, when they had the event in New York City, when they had the pop-up Central Park in 2014 for the 10-year anniversary, he was the only person of the cast to show up.
Oh, why was he the only one?
Because they're all involved in other things. A lot of them lived in LA, but he still lived in New York. So
being a star.
Yeah. I mean, he came. I unfortunately didn't see him. He came the second day. I was there first day in line to go because it was free, and I was like, heck.
Did he hang out with everybody and everything?
Yeah, as far as I know, and they did like Friends trivia and stuff. It was cool.
That's pretty cool.
Sad I couldn't have met him, but
yeah, but still, awesome that he showed up, and it was pretty cool that he was the only one.
Yeah, he's done that for a few events. I'm pretty sure. So.
Nice.
And what's the actor's name?
James Michael Tyler.
James Michael Tyler, got it.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I wanna give a quick example, real quick, of a hilarious scene without him, where he's involved in, where he doesn't even have any lines.
Okay.
You know. So, their settings back in Central Park. Okay. it's an interaction between Joey and Ross. All right, so Joey, what he ends up doing is he punches Ross like in the face.
Okay.
But he's trying to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? That if something like is coming towards your face, your natural reaction is to duck.
Right.
Or most people.
No,
you know
he
what I'm
got
saying?
yeeted.
So that's going back and forth, right? Joey punches Ross in the face, feels horrible about it, you know. So he tells Ross that that he can punch him in the face. So like throughout a big chunk of the episode, he keeps, Ross is telling. Joey's telling Ross, punch me.
He's being annoying with it.
Yeah, punch me. So he keeps saying that, and Ross ends up swinging, but Joey ducks and
finally.
Ross ends up punching like this, like a pole.
It was a random like pole, like you'd have
right
in Central Park.
And of course, it's made of metal. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but the hilarious thing is like while Ross is in pain because like he hits the thing, he's like whining, shaking his hand. They zoom in on Gunther, and he's just standing there like wide-eyed with a huge smile on his face because Ross is hurt. You know what I'm saying?
The arch nemesis. Yeah, I feel it.
Which is hilarious. Like the way that he looked was so funny. But that's one of my favorite examples of an episode of him where he doesn't have a line, but just his reactions. What killed it. So,
interesting stuff.
You think of any others, Shannon? Any other funny
not off the top
or
of my
Gunther
head.
moments? I mean, there are a few. There's the one where he speaks Dutch. Remember that episode? Gunther calls Ross an azel.
An azel?
An azel, which means donkey. Right? So like Ross then through the whole episode tries to figure out like what the hell that means. He finally does, and at the end, Ross is like, hey Gunther, you're an azel, right? And then like Gunther just responds and like looks at him and says, I don't know if I'm gonna get this right, but he says like Jij hebt sex met ezels, which means you have sex with donkeys. And it's hilarious because then Ross don't know what the hell that means. You know what I'm saying?
So you got to go back on the journey.
So, yeah, that was another funny moment.
That's funny.
Trying to think. What about when Ross cheats on Rachel?
Oh, I didn't know there was cheating.
Why are you bringing that up when Tim hasn't watched it?
Well, I'm going to forget, but hey, I didn't know it was going to get that heavy, though.
Bro, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
It is a whole thing that revolves around this whole dang show.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, Ross and Rachel are pretty much, like, the whole story between them does become, I guess, one of the main focal points.
Of the entire show, for sure.
But there is a point, throughout the show where Ross cheats on Rachel, and they got to kind of figure out. Ross is trying to not have Rachel find out. Right, so he's trying to figure. Joey and Chandler tell Ross, that there's always a trail. You got to figure out like who knows the person, so they won't tell.
Right,
and they track it all back down, and it ends
Chloe.
up. Yeah. It ends up being Gunther, who's the roommate of. What is it?
One of the guys that works at the coffee shop. She's like, well, I tell everything to him.
Right. And so Ross has to go to Gunther
and beg him.
And he's like, Gunther, please tell me you didn't tell Rachel about me and the girl from what is it, the printing spot,
the copy place.
And then
he just looks over, and like, Rachel's right there looking at Ross.
Yeah, Gunther's response, but he was like, "I'm sorry, was I not supposed to?"
Oh wow.
So,
but he was so like smug about it, like motherfucker, I'm going to.
So did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then Ross looks over, and Rachel's just like sitting there staring at him, like, how could you?
Yeah. But like once again, those are all Gunther moments. Those are all funny or examples or scenes or episodes and whatnot that really made him stand out. Which we can say James Michael Tyler, aka Gunther, he did an amazing job and for a character with so little screen time or dialogue, when he was on, he killed it every time. Definitely became a memorable part of the show, and a memorable character for us as fans for sure. So, thank you, James Michael Tyler. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, buddy.
He sounds like an awesome guy.
Yeah. Friends, too. I mean, he did, like we had mentioned, he did act in other things, but I believe he's most recognizable for being on Friends.
Okay.
So,
I was going to ask, when he passed, how was the outpouring? How was the response to him passing?
Really wide.
Was this wide?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Even all the actors wrote out something.
Okay.
On their Instagrams and stuff like that.
Their social media accounts all had something referring to him. Everybody showed a lot of love. I mean, even all the networks that constantly play the show, I believe when this happened, they all they set the episodes that they would play all were some of Gunther's top top scenes or top episodes.
Did like a
that
tribute,
people like. Yeah. So everybody showed love and support for him, which was great.
I mean, you got to think it's one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Literally.
I agree.
Of our generation, anyway.
Okay.
I agree. Definitely best sitcom, comedy.
For sure. And a lot of people would argue that, but I think it's definitely. Definitely.
Okay. So, Wynonna Earp or Friends? Which one for you? Which one's better?
It's not the same category.
Not the same. Well, put it in the same category.
I'm not answering this question.
Oh my God, you can't do that to me. No, that's all right. I understand.
Yeah, different categories.
It's two totally and completely different things. Like they're not even slightly similar to one another.
Okay.
Now, if you had said which would you pick, like Golden Girls or Friends?
Well,
it would be
Girls.
It would be a tie.
It would be a tie?
It would be a tie.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Blanche be on point though.
Blanche a little hoe.
Yeah, she is.
Most people always, beefed to it was always either Friends or Seinfeld.
Because they were on at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so I always watch Seinfeld. So
yeah,
we know your choice, Tim. It's fine.
Oh, come on now. I haven't even.
It's fine.
Give me a chance. Give me a chance to watch.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up soon, but you guys got anything else?
No. Good.
No. All right. So Shannon, thanks again for coming back on. It's all relative. We're continuing to create art and making history. So thank you for being part of it again.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. No problem.
You want to shout out or plug anyone or anything in particular?
Just thanks for listening to all the Friends fans out there.
Absolutely.
Shout outs to all the fans.
Yeah.
And shout outs to the Earpers.
Word. Earpers.
There you go.
Erper for life.
Erper for life.
What are your social media accounts in case fans want to get at you?
It's Shannel_flannel. It's SHANNEL_FLANNEL. And that's on Twitter, Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want to hit them with your social?
Sure. Retro Show, RETROSHO. You see the Kermit, you know it's me. And reverse it for YouTube. Show Retro.
Nice. And you guys can always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram. My Facebook is Joshua Toth. Big shout out to our editor, YO, aka Jackson Wallace.
Shout outs.
Yeah, also shout out to Stellar Sound and Media. If you're looking for studio time, videos, etc., contact stellarsoundandmedia@gmail.com. Lastly, huge shout out to our day oneers. We see you guys and we love you.
Yeah, shout outs.
Yeah, we also want to thank all our new fans. Thank you for showing nothing but love and support, and we appreciate you guys. Message option on Anchor.
So we got the message option. You can send in a message. We did miss one. Whoops. We did miss one. I apologize. We got it in on October. We answered it. We do know what happened with Gabby Petito now. But as far as the message option, you can send in a message, whether it is text or if it is a vocal message. Send in that message. You can make it as short or as long as possible, not too long. Make it between 45 seconds to a minute. You can ask, you can give us any comments that you may have, and we will answer it live.
Yeah.
And this time we won't miss anything.
Yeah, we do want to apologize real quick to the fan who did use the message option. We had missed it, but
came in on what was that on it came on Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to the listener,
So now we know that can happen.
Right, the listener who did use the message option through Spotify, thank you very much. We
Appreciate
did,
it.
even though it is late and we already know. Just to touch on that real quick, the Gabrielle Petito incident. If we didn't already know the answer and we had to, and we answered it on time, I would have just said though that throughout the episode, I believe Tim, you did say that. I think that you had thought that it was death by strangulation,
yep.
which it ended up being anyway.
Right.
So
yeah, it ended up being that, and we either thought it was that or like getting hit by some blunt object or something like that.
So
yeah,
you were correct, and to that fan, thank you.
Yeah,
and,
appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, though, if any fans want to contact myself or Tim or our editor Jackson, etc., go through the message option. As opposed to maybe our personal accounts. Try to use the message option. But if you can't get at us through there, you can always go through the personal accounts.
Right.
But finally, fans, family, friends, please continue to show the love. Find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google. And by using the platform of your choice, please remember to subscribe, follow, share. If you're using Apple, please leave a 5-star rating.
Please.
And a quick review. That is the best way to help us and the podcast. So please give us a few seconds of your time. And we greatly appreciate that. All right, my man. That's a wrap.
All right.
Shannon, thanks again.
Thanks again.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful. And we'll see everyone soon. Peace.
Peace out.
Later.